guys, it's Teresa at Soulfire. I'm doing a video on our Doodle plates. Doodle plates are a really fun, simple glass project that we do here at Soulfire. And we thought they'd be a great project to start our glass offerings on the Glass to Go kits. Basically what it is you're going to draw a simple illustration either from your own imagination, or you can print anything off of the internet and do it. If you're into Zentangle, Zentangle's great with this. We have some sheets that we've prepared for classes that we'll send home. Here's a feather one that I've been working on. So you can, you'll get one design to take home, but if you have something in your own mind or something that you want to print out, the options are really limitless. What I would advise, just one tip here, is that you want to keep it as a line drawing. As soon as it becomes, you start to fill it in with glaze or have very thick lines, that's when we get a lot of bubbling and things don't always end well. If we see something come in that has problems, we'll alert you and help correct it on our end. But it's the best thing is if we can just work in fine lines to start with. So let's look at what you get in your kit. Each plate requires 2 sheets of glass, a base and a cap. So you'll get 2 6x6 inch pieces of glass. You'll get an ounce of frit, a Rider bottle with black glaze, and I just dropped one of the tools, whoops. You'll get our absolutely highest tech glass tools, a cut straw, and a toothpick. And that is everything you need to do this project. So I started doing the feather and traced a couple of feathers onto a base. I'm going to trace one more. Oh, which one do we like? We'll just do that one. So all I do to do this now, your Rider bottles get clogged. They just do. There's no way around it. What you're going to do if it gets clogged is just take the pin and plunge it in and out of the opening, the needle nose, a couple times. Sometimes you need to use some water to loosen up the glaze. We're checking them all before we send them out, so they should be good, but you just never know. But you just lay this on your illustration if you're tracing, and you're just gonna draw this down. Again, you want to keep the lines fairly fine, not too chunky. Moving quickly can help with that. So now we'll add a couple of dots here just to make it match the others. It's your piece, so you can do anything that you'd like. And then you can see that that's now on there. The others are dry, so let me show you what the, I'm sorry, I'm doing this handheld right now. Maybe we'll do another one that's better quality. Right now, I'm holding this and doing the project at the same time, so if the focus gets funky, if the angle gets funky, I apologize. So I'm not liking how thick the glaze is on this one that's dry, but that's where my toothpick comes in handy. I keep nudging it with my camera hand. I'm trying to hold it steady, but you can just take this right along that edge. Boy, I'm clearly not meant to be doing this many things at once. And then you just blow it off. I'm thinning that down. I'm just gonna still thin down this corner up here a little more. Again, we just want to have nice fine lines to this. So come in on the top. You can kind of tackle it from both ends. This works best once it's all dry. If it's still wet, you just kind of end up smudging glaze all over and making a bigger mess. Do you like those technical terms, smudging? But you know what I mean. Okay. So I am going to go right ahead right now. Usually I wait for the glaze to all be dry before I start putting on the glue. So usually I would tell you to put your frit down and then your glue. Today we're going to do just the opposite. I should have had this open. Hopefully I won't end up with a glap of glue. Okay. I apparently can't say that one time slow. So I'm just gonna take my finger and smear glue all over the place here. Yikes. Art is messy, right? If it was meant to be totally neat, I don't know what it would be called. But I went to school for ceramics, so I like to get my hands in things, obviously. Hey, if you're gonna wash your hands, at least you'll know that they really need them this time. Okay, so we'll just push that up, and now we're gonna put the frit on. I should have had a paper towel near me so I could wipe the glue off of my finger, but that's okay. The frit on here, I like to take the frit right up to, putting it on fairly heavily. You're trying to put it on evenly, shake it on evenly. But if it's not even, that's okay too. Some of this will shake off so you can have a second chance. I did on one of my samples of this, add a little bit more glue over the top to an area where it had gotten kind of thin, and it worked out just fine. So you can see there's enough frit here to do a good job. Do kind of try to get right up to the edges. It just works nice. I will say, so with the frit, we want to get right up to the edges. With the drawings, we want to stay in a little bit. We want our cap to fully encapsulate your drawing, because the reason that we cap the glaze is because the glaze won't develop for another 500 degrees. It stays permanent and won't fire off, and it's, even when we use it on the outside of a piece, it stays permanent. We've put them on garden stakes and had the garden stakes outside, and it's stayed in place, but it stays very matte, and I'm not sure that it's food safe because it hasn't fully vitrified. I would think that it is not food safe. By capping it, it is food safe. So this is why I wait until it's dry, because you can see I just accidentally hit the feather I just did, and it's shmeary. So for the purpose of the video, I'm trying to shorten this. I probably should have had a couple pre-done. I'm just defining the line here by the edge of my feathers, because I want that to be a nice defined edge and have interesting negative space. So that is, I'm taking my toothpick, I'll wipe the frit back off of it. But So anyways, I will clean this up when it all dries again, but I think you get the general idea. So when to cap, there are really two options. The first is that you do it just like I did it, and then you put the cap over, and then you'll get bubbles in your plate when it fires. I don't know if you can see all the bubbles in this mermaid plate. With the mermaid, I thought the bubbles were a perfect complement to her. If I put the cap over the frit, then that is exactly what we'll get. You can also put your cap on first over your design and then put the frit on top of your cap. If you put the frit on top of your cap, you still may get a bubble. You'll see there's a bubble in the dragon, but for the most part, there are no bubbles, or many fewer bubbles than if you put the frit on the base layer and then cap. You can also kind of see the frit sits closer to the surface. When you put the frit on the cap, and it looks a little bit more embedded in the piece when it's put on the base first. There's no right or wrong here. It's really just personal preference. Some people think that bubbles look like mistakes. I am the person who buys the glasses that have the bubbles in them on purpose. So I love texture and visual interest like that. That's what I'm all about, but it just depends what appeals to you. When you order your kit, you will have one option. The 2 plates of glass, the glue, the writer bottle, the straw, and the toothpick will all be definitely in there. You will tell us though what color frit you want. If you have an idea for your drawing, you may have something very specific. It might just be your favorite color. We don't have every color in the rainbow. For example, pink is rarely available in glass because it requires gold to hold the color. But we have, you know, all the colors of the rainbow pretty much. Red, orange, yellow, blue, green, purple, shades of amber and brown and gray. So just let us know what color you'd like and we will get that for you. Thank you so much. I hope you love your doodle plate.